Hi everyone, I'm Sarah and this is my channel, So Sarah Sewed. In today's video, I'm just going to have a chatty catch up with you, letting you know what I've been sewing and knitting recently. For those of you who are new to my channel, I live in Melbourne, Australia. I have two boys aged 8 and 10 and I work as a music teacher, but in my free time, I love to sew and knit. Before we get into that though, I'll let you know what I'm wearing today. So this is the Cumulus blouse by Petite Knit. I made mine a couple of years ago and I used a lace weight silk mohair that I got from Louis and Lola, which is based in Tasmania. And the colour was called Luck of the Irish. And I just loved all these colours. That's the leftovers that I've got. So these browns and greens and very soft pinks in there as well. So this pattern, you actually hold two strands together of a lace weight yarn. And as you can see, it's got a V-neck. The cuffs and the hem are finished with an I-cord, and so is the neckline. Now I have to say I don't actually get all that much wear out of this top, and I think that it's partly because of the neckline. I find it a little bit hard to style. It's quite low, and it's also quite wide on the shoulders on me. I do think this one will get more wear when I finally get around to making my Cameron button-up that I have on my plans. I already have the material for it. But it's just a plain white cotton collared button-up shirt. I think that would look really nice underneath this blouse. Yeah, because the colors are so pretty and it's a very comfortable one. I have to say, the silk mohair is really lovely and soft. And yeah, I'd like to get more wear out of it. So moving on to the projects I've been working on this week. This week I've made pretty good progress on two big projects of mine. These are both on my Make 9 for this year. One of them's a knitting project and the other one is a sewing project. I'll start with the sewing first. I have finally gotten back into my Tamarack jacket making. This is a pattern by Grainline Studio and it is one that I've had on my Make 9 for a number of years. This version that I'm making, I'm really considering it my wearable toile. It's where I'm figuring out how to actually do this, trying to learn from any mistakes I make and trying to get a better vision of what I want in my next version, which I'm using my expensive fabric for. So this one I'm using a linen cotton that I got from Spotlight as the outer fabric, and the lining is a mid-weight cotton that I've had in my stash for quite a long time. And the designer for that one is Jennifer Buron, who's a French artist. So really, really cute pattern on the inside. So the last time I think I showed you my progress, and this is where I was up to yesterday, was that I just had all the pattern pieces quilted and cut out and ready to sew together. And I'd made my binding. And now I was up to the construction of the jacket. So the fun part really. And so yesterday I attached my patch pockets. So this pattern does actually come with instructions for welt pockets, but that was a little bit too much for me. It's already a very overwhelming project. So I decided to go with the patch pockets. So you can see I have done those on the front pieces. I actually misread the instructions or skimmed them. And this top of the pocket is actually supposed to be an enclosed seam and it shouldn't need the bias binding, but I hadn't done that. So yeah, I had to put bias binding on the top of the pocket as well for mine. So I've done that on both sides. I have also bound the whole back section and I've attached the shoulder seams. The next job is to then bind the whole front, which will go all the way around the front, all the way up the center front, around the neckline, down the other center front and around. And after that, it'll be pretty close to finishing. It'll just be the side seams and then working out what closures I'm going to do. So hopefully I'll get a little bit of time to continue on that today. Hopefully at least that binding will get done today. I do have a pretty busy day. I'm filming this on Sunday morning and I do need to head to work this afternoon. So in my job as a music teacher, I do a musical once a year and the musical has begun. So I have got musical rehearsals on Sunday afternoons this term and next term. But to make it a little bit more manageable for me being a mum, I'm actually sharing the role with another teacher this year, which means I only have to do every second Sunday. So when I don't have my children with me, I'm working, and then next weekend it'll be my turn with my children and I won't be doing the musical. So I'm hoping that works out well. It's something new, we haven't tried it before, but I think it will be quite good. So yeah, I don't have a whole lot of time today to work on this, but hopefully if I can just grab a little bit of time, that is what I'll do. The other project that I've been working on is my knitting project, and I have to say I'm pretty addicted to this one, and it is the Stripe Hype Sweater by Veronica Lindberg. So this one is a crew neck sweater, and as the name suggests, it's got a lot of stripes. And this one also is on my Make 9 for this year. So for this pattern, you have a main color that you use throughout, and then the pattern suggests that you have 5 contrast colors. Of course, you could adapt the pattern to use more or fewer colors if you wanted to, but I have gone with that suggested 5. And then each of the colors you're using for blocks of 3 stripes. So I have nearly finished the entire bodice. I'll show you where I'm up to. Now there are a lot of loose ends to weave in, so it's a bit messy to look at, but you'll get the idea. So here we have my front, and as you can see, I've got my 3 brown, 3 navy blue, and I'm working on my 3rd orange stripe. After this, which is almost done, I just have 1 more row. I'll then have 1 more stripe in the main color, and then I get to move on to the hem ribbing. So very close to finishing the bodice, and then I'll be moving on to the sleeves, and I'll get to add another color. And every time I add another stripe, I find it quite satisfying seeing the way it's coming along. So that's definitely one that I'm finding completely addictive, and also really, really easy because you're just knitting in the round, knit, knit, knit the whole time. So with just a couple of decreases here and there. So far I'm finding this to be a really simple pattern and a thoroughly enjoyable one at that. So they are my 2 projects for this week. Apart from that, this week I have also purchased a ticket to Melbourne Frocktails. So that's being held on the 8th of November, so quite a while away, but I've definitely started thinking already about what I'd like to wear to that. And actually I tried to buy a pattern already. I really loved the look of this particular dress. It's by a Russian company. I think it's called Mia Line. I'm not sure how to pronounce it, but I loved this particular dress. It's got a very relaxed fit at the top. You can wear it off both shoulders or off one shoulder, and then the skirt is quite fitted, but at the back there's also some elastic and a slit, and I think there's an invisible zip at the side. So I decided I'd give this one a go, and I thought I'll buy it now and I'll make a trial and see if that's really what I want to do for Frocktails. So I did get online and try and purchase it, but I just could not purchase it. It just kept saying to contact my bank, and yeah, so it's not looking like I'll actually be able to buy that pattern. If you've had any luck buying from that company before and you have any tips, please let me know. Or if you know of a pattern that might sort of tick the same boxes. I just really love this kind of look. I really like the glamour of this one. I thought it would be something a bit different to make, but also to wear. And yeah, so I was a bit disappointed about that, but look, there's plenty of time before Frocktails. If you missed out on a ticket to Frocktails, I definitely still recommend that you follow the Melbourne Frocktails Instagram page if you can, because often people will have bought their tickets, but then something comes up and they can't go, and they are often then sold on. So if you're keen to go and you haven't got a ticket because it is sold out, keep an eye on that page, because I reckon there will be still people who give back their tickets or are trying to find someone to sell them to. Thought it was going to be quite a short video today, and it is. I really don't have anything else I've been working on. I haven't had any other purchases come in this week or anything like that. So I'm going to leave it there for today. I thank you all very much for joining me, and I'll look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye-bye.